Hey guys, this is a review of the 2019 Toyota RAV4 XLE trim. As you can see, it's in the color white. It all comes with the LED headlights, regardless of what trim level you guys pick. It looks actually pretty stunning in this white color, especially with the black outline, black tinted windows. This is the gas version. There's also the hybrid. This is going to be the 2019 Toyota RAV4 XLE trim. Here with the RAV4, driving in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And on these type of roads where you're going highway speeds, the one hiccup that I've noticed with the RAV4 is, if you're trying to merge and there's not enough power, I think, when trying to accelerate, you can put it in sport mode to get you that little extra boost that you need to get in front of another car for merging. Once you're up to speed though, it's pretty adequate actually. So it's just all about navigating the sport mode. And so for instance, right here, I want to get up to speed so I can merge into traffic, and you can hear it in the engine. It's making that exhaust noise where it's looking for that extra power. So that's the only thing with this engine, I think, that you'll notice. The hybrid evidently is a little bit more powerful, so it'll give you that boost, but this is the gas engine. And outside of that, once you're up to speed, nice smooth driving. And people have commented that, coming from a stop, the transmission jerks a bit. I have noticed that as well. But outside of that, I think the RAV4 is pretty adequate. All right, so this street that we're riding on is pothole laden, and actually you really can't feel the bumps that well, so that's a good thing. This suspension is well adjusted to handle these very poor roads, and that's an excellent benefit for a crossover. Driving on older roads is probably something most of us are going to have to deal with, so the RAV4 passes that test very well, in my opinion. All right guys, so let's get some more highway driving, and I'll just comment on the way the RAV4 handles that. Again, this is the normal mode drive. 3 different settings with the RAV4: Eco, Normal, and Sport. Normal should give you sufficient high MPG, so 90% of the time I think everyone will be driving in normal mode. And that's the one hiccup I kept on mentioning, is when you're trying to accelerate, the engine is really working at its maximum to do that. So once you're at speed, let's see if I can get down to or get up to around 80. I may not be able to do that on this road, but once you get up to cruising speed, 70, 80, it's pretty decent, smooth ride. The road noise is there, like I mentioned earlier in the video, but if you're playing your music, you won't hear it too much. So I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, the ride factor, comfort factor, I would put it at a 6, 10 being the best. So that's your highway here on the RAV4. All right guys, so this portion of the video, I just want to give some impressions on driving dynamics, particularly on these type of roads, different elevation points, lots of turns and curves. And so far, I have to rate the RAV4 as definitely above average in terms of being able to handle these type of roads. And of course, it's a crossover, it's an SUV, whatever you want to call it. It's not necessarily built or the most ideal vehicle to handle these type of roads, but it's always something that you'll encounter. And if you do want to take these curves at a sharp speed, the RAV4 has been able to do that. And it may not be the best in its segment either, but it's definitely, I would say, above average. The ride itself, suspension is very good. There's a lot of bumps in the road, and you really can't feel it that much. So I've really enjoyed that aspect of it, and I applaud Toyota for being able to build that into the design of the RAV4. All right, guys, so here with the RAV4 going up an incline, and this is a gripe that I have about this vehicle, and odds are you're probably not going to be dealing with this type of drive anyway, but it can manage this, but it is not happy about it. The engine is very loud and coarse when it's going up this grade of road. So, that's just something you have to sacrifice with this type of gas efficient engine. Even in sport mode, it's still going to make a coarse noise as you're giving it gas going up this incline. It's just something to think about. All right, guys, so I was complaining about how the RAV4 performs up a steep grade, but conversely, going down, it's really healthy in these turns. It could manage it without hitting the brake. I think it's like a 7% steep grade going down, and I'm just, foot is off the gas, just letting it cruise at 67, and it's handling it as well as you can imagine. So that's another aspect of Toyota engineering, where they can, as big as this car is compared to a sedan, it can go down these roads, and it's very confident. And I think that's just the nature of a crossover. It can handle going down a steep grade. It's not going to accelerate much, even at this downgrade. It'll just cruise. Let's see, we gained 4 miles an hour after me just letting it go down this path. So I do like the coming down the mountain as opposed to climbing. So the RAV4, again, on these really curvy roads, steep inclines, steep declines, the engine noise, it's unavoidable. I mean, it's going to be there regardless of what type of speed you maintain. I'm obviously going a little bit faster than most people would on these type of drives, but man, it's really loud in here. And I'm not sure if it'll come through on the video with my earbuds in, but if you had a passenger with you, I mean, you would have to talk pretty loudly to communicate, because road noise, wind noise, it's very apparent, and that's putting it mildly. But the drive itself, it's pretty good. It's just that I would think that the next iteration again is just going to have some sound deadening material where they can lessen the road noise, wind noise, and that'll make it, just that much more appealing for buyers. Now, of course, this is the RAV4. It's the #1 selling crossover SUV. Actually, it might be the #1 selling car besides pickups in the country anyway, so you're not exactly driving people off because of quote unquote loud road noise, engine noise. People are still flocking to the RAV4, and with good cause. I mean, it's doing everything else pretty well. And actually, look at that, 34 1.1 mpg over what, 654-mile trip. Granted, that was a lot of highway driving, about 80% highway driving, but I did tend to push the engine a lot. So 34 mpg, I mean, you can't, that's going to be the best, I think, in the segment. I think with the Mazda CX-5 that I put the video up for, that did, you know, around 31, I think. And that was an all-wheel drive version. But like I said, I was really pushing the RAV4 this entire trip, and it's done excellent in a very economical gas mileage way. So huge positive for this vehicle, and a lot of buyers are absolutely going to get their money's worth with fuel economy. And then, you know, once you get to the hybrid, if you want to go that route, I mean, this is 34, that's probably going to be 44 with the same type of driving. Actually, maybe not, because I think the highway is actually a little less than city in a hybrid, but I would still say it's north of 40. So I also wanted to test out the cruise control, and in the RAV4 they have what's called adaptive cruise control, which essentially keeps an eye out for drivers in front of you and makes sure that you have enough distance between you and that other driver, that there'll be enough space there, and they'll either slow the car down to make sure that's the case, and if that car has more distance, it'll speed up. So it's a very handy feature, and I believe it's the only version that you can activate when you're using cruise control. In other words, I don't think you can turn that adaptive cruise control off. So, wow, did you see that? That was a runaway truck ramp. That's a pretty interesting feature of this road. Alright guys, so here's where the RAV4 loves to be at. This is cruising at a steady speed of 63 miles an hour, and man, this is that Toyota comfortable ride that everyone has grown accustomed to. Supple ride, no bumps in the road, just very smooth ride, and I think the RAV4 absolutely shines at these speeds. And this is where, you know, on that long commute to work, set it and cruise, and you know, it's just a very smooth drive. Alright guys, so just some interior footage of the RAV4. The infotainment system is in night mode. This is the Apple CarPlay navigation. This is the climate control information in front of the driver. Everything actually looks pretty good. I mean, a lot of color coordination. Really like the layout of everything here in the RAV4, especially in this nighttime driving. Everything's very vibrant, easy to read, all the pertinent information. Navigation has worked pretty good. Obviously, that's based on which application you're using. And again, you can touch on your steering wheel the different modes or what information you want in front of you. Those are the two most relevant for me, is MPG and a digital speedometer. Alright guys, so just final driving impressions of the 2019 RAV4. I think, again, the numbers speak for themselves. It's the best-selling car in the country outside of pickup trucks. So there's not really any promotion that I need to do for this vehicle. And this particular trim, the XLE gas version, is there's actually a lot of deals out there. You'll see even up to $5,000 off MSRP to pick up one of these, just because people are flocking to the hybrid, and that's the trim that's selling the best in terms of very few discounts. So I think this particular trim, the XLE, probably can be had for, you know, $25,000, I think. So which is a great deal, and I think right at that price point most people are going to be looking for. Personally, I really liked it. You know, the two issues that I always bring up, it just needs more sound deadening material in here to block the road noise and the engine noise. That would be my main issue. And secondarily, is just, you know, a little more power is always useful. And the hybrid may actually solve both of those issues from what I'm hearing. And that's a few thousand more because those discounts aren't there. So that may be worth moving up to for a lot of people. Outside of that, those two issues, this thing is the perfect companion for people. Just, you know, it's a daily commuter. It'll get you where you need to be. The suspension is very soft on roads like this. You know, it's just a very cushy ride, and you'll just be very comfortable driving this year-round. The all-wheel drive also may help you in getting that pickup, that little extra push, that move and power that I've been sort of desiring, you know, on these previous merging onto highways. I think all-wheel drive would help in those situations. So just to recap, all in all, I think it's a really good car, really good value. It's Toyota, so you know, reliability should still be up there, even though this is a first-year model. And there's that issue of, from a stop in first gear, the car sort of jerks forward. There may be actually a fix for that. That's what I'm hearing online. So if they do fix that, then that would be something you can overlook. Outside of that, you know, the controls were really great, really clear even in the daylight. It doesn't have that Android Auto, but I'm sure that's going to come eventually, and you can certainly probably add it aftermarket once it's ready. So just to recap, I think it's a very good buy for a lot of people who are looking for a crossover. And competitively speaking, it may be the best. You've got the CR-V, the Rogue, the CX-5 for the Japanese brands, the Subaru Forester. But with Toyota, I think you get a really great price point and that keyword, reliability. And that's what most of us want above all else. Alright guys, so wrapping up the video, we did a total of 1,061 miles on the RAV4. That's 35.2 mpg, which is outstanding. This, again, 2019 RAV4 in the XLE trim. The XLE trim, I liked all the features of it. The only thing I would like to have added to this trim is the power seats. For those of you that have a bad back, for me the seats were not very helpful, these manual seats that this came with. So I would definitely advise you guys to look at the package that adds the power seats. But all in all, again, it was a very reliable mode of transportation, if I could sum it up in one sentence. It's got everything you need really just to do your daily commute, shopping on the weekends, take the kids out. As you guys know, the RAV4 is also known for cargo space compared to its rivals. So for me, you know, I think this model, again, with the discounts, you could get it for $25K. The two issues that I mentioned in the video with the lack of acceleration and road and engine noise, I think I would, if I was spending $25K, I would try to probably choose a used 3 or 4 year model Lexus or Acura product that would take care of those two issues. But some people, you know, that's not that big of a deal. So this is just, like I said, a perfect value for what you're getting. I appreciate you guys watching this video.